They say if you hear knocking at your door past 2 a.m., you should never answer it. Not because someone is there, but because sometimes something isn't. A man once lived alone in a quiet house at the end of his street, the kind of place where nothing unusual ever happened, where nights passed in complete silence. But one night, at exactly 2:47 a.m., he woke to the sound of knocking, slow, heavy, deliberate. Confused and half asleep, he checked the time, wondering who would visit him at such an hour. He walked down the dark hallway, the floor creaking beneath his steps, and opened the front door. Yet there was no one outside, only rain pouring into the darkness and wind whispering through the trees. Feeling foolish, he began to close the door, but just before it shut, the knocking returned, louder this time. Except now it came from the other side of the door, the inside. His breath caught as he slowly touched the wood, and another knock answered his touch instantly. Heart pounding, he leaned toward the peephole to look again, and at first he saw nothing, just the empty porch, until suddenly an eye appeared, staring back at him, his own eye, smiling. He stumbled backward in terror and rushed to the hallway mirror, needing to ground himself to see something normal. But when he raised his hand, his reflection hesitated before copying him seconds later, and then it kept waving, even after he stopped. Behind him, the knocking turned violent, the door shaking in its frame as the handle twisted on its own, and a muffled voice pushed through the wood, whispering, "Let me out." Trembling, he asked who was there, and the voice replied with a single word, "You." The door creaked open slowly by itself, revealing a figure standing in the rain. It was him, wearing the same clothes, the same face, except soaking wet, with a grin stretched far wider than humanly possible. The thing spoke again. "You left me out there." That's when he noticed the muddy footprints on the floor, leading from the door to where he was standing, meaning he had never walked to the door at all. The lights flickered and went out for only a second, but when they came back, the wet version was inside, and the dry one was gone. The thing looked forward and whispered, "Don't answer the door." So if you ever wake up at 2:47 a.m. and hear knocking, make sure it's coming from outside. Because if it isn't, you might be the one locked out.